Good morning, campers. Let's do a reading. I'm feeling like intuition check today. So we're going to do what you think is going on in your connection and with your masculine versus what is really going on. So we're going to start from what you think is going on. What you think is going on. I didn't light up my incense. Hold on. All right, we're good. You guys, it's raining like crazy. I love when it rains like that. As long as I don't have to leave the house. What you think is going on? 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 I want two more for your first row. Yeah. Okay, you guys. Your first card is talking shit. And your second card is partying. So what I was hearing with these two, this one was the third one. You would think maybe your person is someone that it usually happens in these connections, right? Because when we meet, we are very wounded, we're deeply wounded, and what comes with wounding oftentimes is, distractions, substances, nightlife, so on and so forth. You ain't gonna find healthy people there. I always say this, I don't care what anyone says, but maybe your person likes that kind of a life. Maybe you even met like on a party, clubbing, or something like that. Maybe you know that this is their distraction, this is what they do on weekends. And maybe you feel that they're still bound by this life. And with that talking shit, I don't know, we're gonna clarify, but either you know this, it's a collective. I'm hearing two things. Either you know this for a fact because someone told you, or you've witnessed this, or you're just suspecting that your person doesn't have the nicest thing to say about you. And it's such a painful thing, you guys, on this journey, but it really does happen, right? When we're wounded, when our masculine is wounded, they put in a connection with us that's making them feel for the very first time things that they've never felt before. It's very real, it's very genuine, it's very intense, it's very strong, it becomes very spiritual, it goes very deep, things that they don't really understand. They don't know how to deal with this, and they don't understand that we're a reflection of their wounds because we're the other half of them. So every time they get triggered by us, they just think that it's toxic, it's not going to work, and they don't yet have the readiness to reflect, in a sense, if this woman is triggering me, maybe there's something within me that I haven't healed. They far away from thinking like that, right? So they think it's you. They think it's you're weird, you're toxic, you're pushy or insisting or clingy. And sometimes it does happen that they want to convince themselves that they don't want it, and especially if they're still surrounded by karmic friends that all they share are parties and drinking together. Maybe when you're brought up into the topic, we're gonna see whether that's actually going on, but I feel like you would think that that's what's happening. So maybe they actually say something like, oh, I'm over this woman, like I don't want to see her anymore, like she's crazy, like she's constantly like messaging me. And you guys, it's hard, it's something that happens to a certain extent in the beginning for all of these connections, because they are in deep denial. So they usually say like, whatever, I don't care, right? But maybe you've heard something. But we have two cards as well. We have the ship and we have moving. So I think that this collective, you would feel like your person moved on from you. Like they moved on from you. Like maybe they actually as well, maybe a detail for some of you because this is a physical moving. So maybe they've moved to to a different location, different apartment, different city, whatever that is. But overall, I feel like you think that they've moved on, that they completely, so maybe they ignoring you, ignoring your messages, maybe even found out about something, will confirm. But release it, we have this butterfly, it is a positive energy and will confirm, but I feel more than anything this is just moving on, moving to the next phase, transforming. You would think, you poor thing, you would think that they really don't, that they don't want it, and there's a moment that they actually don't want it, right? Before they realize that there's no place you can hide. Camera, reminiscing. Maybe you actually heard something. Maybe you have some memories that you shared, and these memories, for example, it's coming to my mind, they were important to you. Those were things that you cherished, and maybe you've heard that they actually said that it was nothing, that it was just like a, you know, again, cutting out separation, silent treatment. Silent treatment. You guys, I'm getting chills, I'm getting emotional, I'm not feeling too nice. I'm feeling this emotion of humiliation, of, I feel like something may have happened, something really, really ugly, really nasty between the two of you. So maybe maybe you even went to a place that, you know, you would party together, either by coincidence or on purpose, and your person was there. Confirmation, you guys. And your person was there. Maybe you approached them, you said hi, because just recently you saw each other, you spent time together, and they really treated you with coldness. They like, maybe even, I was literally like seeing this scene, like you're entering a room and you're seeing them, and you're just wanting to approach and maybe give them a kiss, even if it's just like on a cheek, or like hug them, and they're like very, very cold, very, very dismissive, very, this silent treatment. Like maybe you were in the same room, in the same party, they were not talking to you, or maybe you even actually in that place you overheard them saying something to their friends, like, I don't know this woman, like I don't know what she wants from me. Oh my god, you guys, I am gonna start crying. That is pain. That is pain. When you love somebody, when you have feelings towards somebody, and they give you silent treatment, they ignore you this way, it is so painful. But you guys, it comes from a place of wounding, and it triggers wounding within us. And sometimes it has to happen, because even if, let's just say, let's just theoretically, let's just say there is a man who never promised anything to a woman. Maybe you just literally went out on a first date. Maybe they were really, you know, very reserved with you, and you like build this up in your head. If this man is mature, if this man is a true man, divine masculine man, someone who has compassion and who has maturity, even you throw yourself at him like, oh my god, baby, hi, they would treat you with respect, because healed people treat others with respect. We can put boundaries, we can, right? Because sometimes we do have these situations that someone, you know, is a bit of a like pushing our boundaries. So we were entitled to have boundaries, we're allowed to have boundaries. But if they treat you with this coldness, with this humiliation in front of, you know, their friends, your friends, guys, and all the love I have, I really send to you. This is horrible. This is unimaginable. And sometimes, you know, in these connections, we really are deeply wounded when we meet each other, and especially the masculines, because they're usually surrounded. Our life is, for most part, generically a bit more pulled together, because we have a different role on this journey. But masculines, they're usually very wounded. They're usually very wounded. They're usually surrounded by toxic, shallow friends who care about these things. We have healthier choices. That's on top of those cutting ties. I think that you are trying to reason with yourself, right? So maybe your relationship was a bit of an in and out. It was full of maybe drama and hot and cold and ups and downs. So despite the fact that you feel emotion and loving feelings towards this person, I feel like you're trying to reason with yourself and say that they're making the right choice, that you would feel that because it wasn't working out, so they're making this decision to really move away from you, that it's a good thing. You would try to explain to yourself that it's a good thing. I'm feeling there may be someone who is very negative influence on your masculine. So either it's a third party, or either it's a friend that is very, very toxic, very snake energy, very like that talking shit. That may be that influence, someone who usually talks bad about other people, and maybe they really even like fueling these things and sort of a fishing for these things from him, to push him to say these things, like, you know, and maybe they like teasing him, like, oh my god, you know, like what's with this girl. Not nicest energy. Watching, looking, stalking. Because we're doing what you think is going on, I'm feeling what I've heard with this, it's a bit confusing. And you guys, their behavior is always confusing, because what they don't understand is that our masculines oftentimes in the beginning, theoretically, they don't make any promises, they don't say anything to us, they they treat us hot and cold, right? So any kind of a logical person would be like, this dude is not normal, and it's not for me, it's not healthy, right? But what they're not understanding is that because we are to each other who we are to each other, we operate on the same frequency. We're the other half of their soul. We feel their energy. We feel their energy immediately, instantaneously, right? So we sometimes ourselves in the beginning don't understand that. So it's like we feel that they want it. We feel that they love us. We feel that they crave us. We feel that they want to be with us. But then their actions so much, they don't match their energy. And sometimes they even say things that are so confusing. So maybe, you know, you had some signs and you've heard from other people that your person is, you know, saying that you're nothing to each other, that you're not seeing each other, that it's just like, it's no, maybe they even said some not the nicest thing about you. And certain, I feel like at a minimum for this collective, you would think, you would hear or you would know that they say that you're nobody. So maybe every time, you know, you see each other, whether it's the two of you or with friends, surrounded by friends, they say like, we're just friends, we're nothing, well, it's nothing, what happened, it was nothing, it was just having fun together, we do this with other people, right? So to you it's something so important, and they keep at a minimum. But I feel for some of you, they might have said some really harsh things. But then for example, they watch your stories, right? Or they or they maybe have some sort of, they would send you a message here and there. So it's like I am hearing that confusion. But I'm gonna say this on a generic level, right? Because it is, these connections are so rare and they're so misunderstood, and so many people confuse them with karmic connections. So there's always obsessive lover at the bottom of the deck. So I always try to be, you know, very careful. But overall, you guys, if a man is watching you, if he's watching your stories, if he's watching your social media, sometimes even obsessively, it really means nothing. It really means nothing. In these cases, in a true soul connections, true twin soul connections, so extremely rare and misunderstood in this world right now. They do that because they feel this magnetic pull towards us, because without them knowing, they feel that we are of same frequency, we are the same soul, we are destined for them, that it was so divinely orchestrated for us to meet, for us to start this healing journey, right? But there are many men who are who can be karmic connections, who are so deeply wounded. 11:22, I was guided to say this to you guys. Maybe as some of you are going to be watching at this exact time, where you're going to look at the clock and it's going to be 11:22. Sorry. Who are so deeply toxic and so deeply wounded that they really don't want anything to do with you, but they're gonna watch your stories because they're gonna sort of a fish. I was guided to say this to you. I don't know why. They will want to fish to see. First of all, they will want to tease you, because men ain't stupid. They know that we know, whether they watch us or don't watch us, right? So they will want to like confuse you, that level of evilness. And some of them, they will do that because they will want to sort of see that you're heartbroken. They maybe are posting things about love and about, right? That's why I always say this to you guys, like these messages sometimes, I don't know. There's a reason I was, it overall, no matter what kind of connection is it, it means nothing. The fact that someone is watching your stories, it means nothing. It means nothing. And in these connections, we're always, when we miss them, whether that's in the beginning or in separation, we think it's so much, that it means so much. Oh my God, he watched my stories, right? Oh my God, he misses me. Oh my God, he wanted to see how I'm doing. He loves me, right? Because we're really fishing for anything. One more for the butterfly. Heartbreak. But this is what you think, and we have the runner at the bottom of the deck. I think, you guys, there definitely for this collective, certain things happened that were very not nice, very nasty, very abusive behavior, right? So whether they treated you with silent treatment, ghosting, ignoring, you actually met, whether that's on a party or on the street, they pretended that they didn't know you, they completely ignored you, very, very nasty and not mature, really wounded behavior. But I feel like you're saying to yourself that it's just been so difficult, so toxic, so in and out, so up and down, that they're trying to do the right thing, that they're trying to take a healthier choice, because it's like your love, it's only causing heartbreak. So maybe it is the right decision to move away. But I feel you would be confused. I want to do a couple of these, my oracles, and then we're going to break this down in tarot. What do you think is going on? Let's do, what do you think is going on? Yeah, I want one more. Yeah. You guys, we have victim mentality. Look what the cards we have. We have victim mentality. We have attention seeking, and we have vicious cycle. Right? I think that you would realize that this person is sort of surrounded by low vibrational people, by low vibrational. So this party, these karmic friends, you would know this, right? You would know this. And I'm looking at this attention seeking, and I'm looking at this and these stories and this watching, right? So I feel like you may be suspecting, whether you think that they're, very evil or very wounded, but I think you are realizing that they're seeking for validation, that there's someone that, the fact that it's like, they say that I don't know this woman, but they actually take satisfaction from the fact that you want certain things from them. And it happens to most of the masculines. And we have to swallow it, and we have to heal it, because it's so painful for us feminists that in the beginning, it's like, they have no intentions to give us anything tangible, but it's like they take pride that we are interested, that we are chasing them, that we are seeking, because they seek validation. Why? Because of victim mentality, because of, also I'm hearing worthiness issues. So they, deep down, maybe they don't even admit it to themselves, but deep down they don't feel like they're the man, like they're the boss. They don't have high, people with high self-esteem, with high self-love, they're respectful towards others, because it takes really some healing to reach that deep level of self-love. So when you love yourself truly, you reflect that love in relationships with others. So people who mistreat others are people who don't have self. I think that you would feel this collective, that he's seeking something for you. It's like he's from you. It's like he's fishing, and the moment you come forward, he's like, whatever, I don't want it. But it's like, if you would enter this party and say nothing to him, he would be devastated. So he's playing very cruel games right now because he's deeply wounded. So it's like he wants you. That's why maybe he watches your stories, or he sometimes, like, he fishes. It's like he wants to keep you close but go away. Do you know what I mean? And we have liar, liar. And we have liar, liar. So you would know this person is not honest with you. You would be very confused. Their actions don't match their words right now. I feel their behavior doesn't. Maybe they also behave completely differently when they are with you in the room, and when there are other people in the room as well. And with those vicious cycles, I feel maybe you use it a little bit as an excuse, which you shouldn't, because if they stay in those vicious cycles, no one is forcing them. It's their own doing. It's their own choice. It's our masculines. They choose their friends. They choose how they spend their weekends. They choose to go from party to party, drinking and connecting to people on a shallow level. What kind of a deep conversation you're going to have in a club or at the party with a lot of liquor? That's why I always say this to you guys, and I don't care what anyone says. Healed, matured, stable people don't go to parties. They don't go to parties. And even if you're saying, oh, it's just every now and then, or it's just with my close friends, right? As long as there's music, there's like this, right now. Healed people, if you want music, you go actual dancing to a nice place, like where you do like freaking boogie or salsa, right? Or when you want to connect to your friends, you organize a dinner party like an adult. You cook a meal, you invite your friends, you talk about life and death kind of things and the meaning of life, not about, in environments when no one's can really hear and listen, have a conversation. There's just like, no healed, mature person does this. And I don't care what anyone says. And again, remember, maturity has nothing to do with your age. There's a reason I said that. And we have an unboxing abundance. So maybe you also feel that your person is focused on a career, that they're not looking for a relationship. Maybe they also said this to you, but you would realize that there's a lot of, I feel like you look for excuses, but you're seeing these distortions. You're seeing that they're stuck in vicious cycle, that they're seeking and fishing for attention, that they don't have worthiness, that they are a bit of a victim mentality, that they are lying to you, that their words don't match their action. It's like really Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Like it's a two different people, I feel like, as well, when they maybe talk to you, or whether they are or aren't under influence as well. I'm hearing a very painful moment of this journey, you guys, but to a certain extent, to be honest, we all go through this. So we all go through this. All right. Or most of us. Okay, let's tap into your joint energies. How do you see your connection? Let's confirm. How do you see your connection? This is your first cards. You guys, I feel like this collective, you do realize that there has to be a lot of healing in this connection to ever be able to have something tangible, that there has to be a lot of healing, that I feel you do feel that you have to liberate yourself. I don't want to trigger you, this collective, because you're in such a vulnerable place right now. And again, what's happening to you, it's horrible. It's horrible. And when we sometimes are treated like this by a karmic connection, even if we feel like this is, you know, something important and this is like a beautiful connection, we're in love, as long as it's karmic, we're gonna snap out of it, right? We're gonna snap out of it because it's hard, but it's painful. But when we talk about true twin flame connections, we know, because it's in the blueprint of our soul, that this is the other half of us. So we always ask ourselves, why would they be, how are they capable to treat me this way? How? But it always serves a lesson for us feminines, because it is always, to some extent, a reflection. You're trying to, you know, this is for us to teach us to treat ourselves better. Twin flame or not, when you are in a place of self-love, dude, bye until you mature, until you become the man that I have seen in your eyes from the very beginning, but you're not that man yet. And until you are that man, peace out, brother. But you're not there yet. I feel you know this collective. I feel you know this. I feel you know that there's healing that needs to happen on both ends. I feel like you have a lot of love and patience within you, whether you accept it or not, because you keep finding excuses for this man. You keep finding, you know, you have to find a little bit more of that fierceness and that fire within you. I feel like you know this. I feel like you know this. I feel like this collective, maybe in other areas of your life, you are quite more like self-secure and fierce. But I feel like it would be this setting that, you know, what we mentioned, that, you know, he ignores you maybe in public places and like in some parties, right? So I feel like you find yourself in moments when, if this was any other person, you maybe would be like, whatever, if you want to lie in front of your friends, peace out, brother, right? But because he's the other half of you, we always have this deep connection. We feel their emotion. Even when we stand in front of them, you guys, and they treat us like trash, and we still don't have it in us to be like, because we feel their pain. On a level that we don't understand, we understand that it's coming from a place of pain. We already understand on some very deep subconscious level that they don't want to do it, but they're armored and they're wounded, and that the day will come that they will have to forgive themselves for doing that. It's like, there is no time, right? Time is just an illusion. So past, present, future, it all exists simultaneously. And powerful souls like us that are here for a very specific journey of deep healing to become the beacons of hope for others, we really have the capacity of that crow that sees the present, the future, and the past. And we don't understand it yet. It's the beginning of this journey for this collective, but we feel into it intuitively. So it's like, you know that what's standing in front of you is a mask. It's a fake persona. It's not true. That's why you're confused, right? That's why you cannot just like freaking slap him, right? I feel like you're trying to find this fierceness within you, but without you understanding, I would feel that you're completely different with this person. And to be honest, I'm not, we have Three of Cups and we have the Chariot. I think you still have hope that this has future. And again, in true divine connection, obviously you should have hope and it has future. But at this stage, that future is far away on the timeline. So you shouldn't be, I feel like you still hope for movement, you still hope for change. And with that Three of Emotions, I ain't liking this, because I feel this collective, you would be willing to offer friendship. You would be willing to offer friendship. You're in so much longing that you're thinking to yourself, well, okay, he's not ready for a relationship, there's healing that has to happen, maybe he's preoccupied with all different things, but maybe we could be friends. Maybe we could be friends. The Devil. I was seeing the Devil card. I actually thought that it would be the first one to pop up. Tower at the bottom of the deck. Ay, 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 ay. You would know that there's a lot of shadows, that there's a lot of toxicity, that there's a lot of vicious cycle, that this person is not right now something that they couldn't offer